Dark side of Lana Rhoades from Adult Videos is scammer. Here's the thing. We've all seen her dark side already. Actually, I don't think I've ever seen the dark side before. Spell her name. Nice. Okay. Let's get this going.
Lana Rhoades, same thing. Started an NFT project, and they're all like little images of her. I don't know. You know, she was touting the same.
You could already get images for free without paying for it.
It's like, it's going to be more than just a...
If you pay for it, it is better, though. The quality tends to be better.
Discord, and we're going to do this, and there's a roadmap, and stupid shit that they all have that they never end up doing. So and then like recently the main wallet, well, she made $1.5 million basically. The way that these NFTs work is if you set up the mint, you set it up with your main wallet, and all the money that people use to mint these NFTs goes to your wallet.
Yeah.
So there's $1.5 million in there right now that she made in one day from people.
Crazy. Good for her.
Doing these. And then like a week later she closed down the Discord because it was too negative.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, the founder of Ajay Coin here, coming to a theater near you.
Come.
Today I'm going to be talking about internet sensation and my former ex-girlfriend Lana Rhoades.
Wow.
Just kidding, she's not really an internet sensation. Whether you know her...
How do we perceive that though? You know, like how do we perceive? Do we go Ajay? Because I know the joke is that like he never actually dated her before. Of course not. She would never date someone like him. I would know because she's dated me before. But then the question comes in, and it's like, well, you know, what does that mean for you, Ajay? You're getting cucked on the daily. I mean, listen, I don't know if I could date a porn star. I could date like a former porn star, like no problem. I don't give a shit. But like one that's currently doing other dudes, I mean, listen, more power to you. Personally, could not handle it. I don't think I could handle it. I think that it would be too much for me to know that every day, you know, her walls are getting beat down by some dude with a fucking slanger too. You know what I mean? Like I'm not. Listen, I'm confident. I have a nice bogangler. You know what I mean? It's not too bad. But like, can I compete with like Jonathan Cinnamon? Like, dude, of course not. You know what I mean? So, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, man. You know, I'm just saying what we're all thinking.
Her from, let's just say scholarly resources or not, it's undeniable she's quite popular. I mean, the woman has a massive 16 million followers on Instagram. Nice. Lana's unique in the fact that she started out as an adult movie star, transitioned to a successful career in social media, but then scammed her fans with an NFT project. After
doesn't everybody? I feel like at this point, shouldn't we all be like aware that that's what people do? They burn through their credibility by scamming people. Like at the end, they're like, "Hey guys, I'm cool." JK LOL. That's pretty much the way that it all works now. Why are we so surprised? I'm just honest question here at this point. Why are we all surprised? It's just bizarre to me.
After being exposed, she then tried to shift the focus to the war in Ukraine. Yeah, seriously. This is the dark side of Lana Rhoades. Before I get into it, I just want to thank today's sponsor, Wondershare Demo Creator. Hello there, Wondershare Ajay here. Look at this.
That doesn't look anything like you, Ajay. If that's the customization options for that, then I feel like I don't want to buy this service because like that's terrible customization options.
Cool avatar I created using Wondershare Demo Creator. Wondershare Demo Creator is an essential demo making tool that helps learners, educators, freelancers, and gamers take idea sharing to the next level. Everyone can start Demo Creator easily with zero editing skills. The advantage of it is that it's very intuitive. I mean, if
I made a video game, I think it would be like a tower defense game. But I would like an older school tower defense game. Like I miss like Warcraft 3 tower defenses where it was just a screen and you could put your towers down however you wanted and you can make like really intricate obstacles yourself. Those were cool. And they were like those were just so cool, bro. I miss them. And then you could like get different tower types. You pick like a tower branch, like, oh, I want poison towers, or I want like ice towers. You had like a themed tower. And then like you would create your thing on a track where, bro, it was so cool. So cool.
It took me 5 minutes to figure out how to get this avatar working. And look, he can even match my eyebrow expressions. People don't need to spend a lot of time in order to figure out how to use every feature.
Great.
And feel job tracking for as I came to my voice and want to me out tremendous. At the age of 16, Maple went to prison for helping her boyfriend and his gang commit robberies.
They were just robbing houses, stealing things, and I was just along for the ride. I got charged. I spent a year in prison as a juvenile. I was supposed to be there up until 21 years old. I never took anything, but
sounds
because
like denial.
I was small. No, I never made a penny. I never made a penny off of it. I was small. I was the only girl, and so they would put me in the window, and I would unlock the the door for them to let them in.
At the age of 18, Amara got a job as
Hey, listen, man. You know what? Not everybody comes from an ideal life. It is what it is. I'm not going to judge her for that. I do want Lunchables now, though.
a stripper after working at the Tilted Kilt, then became a corn star. Maple was incredibly motivated to make money and manifested her success. So much so that she ended up becoming the #1 actress on Corn Smub. Interestingly, she was also married to a man named John at the time, but their relationship was very toxic. Eventually they divorced, but only after she got a tattoo with his name on her buttocks. You know, just like most normal couples. After completing 12 adult movies,
I'm going to get a tattoo of my wife on me. I don't give a fuck. I love that woman to my fucking deathbed. I don't care. You know what I mean? And people might be like, yeah, but what about the future? I don't give a fuck about the future, bro. First of all, we're never going to get divorced, okay? Second of all, even if we did, who fucking cares, bro? You're just jealous that you haven't experienced a legitimately deep fucking type of love that I've experienced. Okay? That's life, bro. Okay? I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Okay?
in 2016, about 30 in 2017, and 25
Do you want me to live stream it? My friend texted me today. He's like, do you want to go get some stupid random Pokemon tattoos? And I'm like, I don't know. Should I do that and like live stream it? Just getting a dumb fucking Pokemon tattoo? What would I even get?
in 2018, she retired for good.
I've wanted a tattoo for a while, but I don't know which one I want, you know? So
Amara revealed the reason that she left was because she was mistreated and bullied. She even mentioned she was sometimes forced to do humiliating acts.
Everyone wanted to make money off me, so they pushed me to do these things. And it just gets really extreme, like you were saying, abusive.
Did you ever go through those experiences where you had to do a scene where it was very aggressive and you just felt like...
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to go into too much detail. Like, honestly, some of my experiences are really humiliating for me. And I wish that they never happened. Sorry.
Oh, don't cry.
that's like the sad part, man, about doing like porn. And I feel like a lot of people are just like, yeah, well, it's your fault. It's like it's hard to explain. Like, I would recommend watching the Pam and Tommy show. I know it sounds so weird on HBO. Was it HBO? It's about Pamela Anderson and Tommy Lee, obviously. Like, but it's about their like their leaked sex tape and the way that like sex is kind of perceived, or she didn't even have sex. All she did with a sex tape, but like way that modeling is perceived. People think that just because you open yourself up to doing something with your body means that everything that happens with your body is now consensual. And so, like, it's obviously it's a frustrating scenario to be in, where you know you're basically bargaining with your body and whatnot. But people like sex in general can be a very Sex in general, it can be like is a kind of a balancing act, a back and forth of like people pushing each other's boundaries in ways that are sometimes good, but sometimes also very bad, which is why you're better off like getting into like a more long-term relationship with somebody, or more comfortable relationship before you sleep with them. When you're doing it for like sex or for views, now you have this scenario where you have a guy who's having sex with, and like he's not only do they want to like make it look good, but then they're also fucking you, so they want it to feel good for themselves. And then they fuck you in a way that could like be hurting, that could hurt you, and they get to use the excuse of like, oh, but you're getting paid, so like I'm kind of entitled to do whatever I want. And it can get very abusive very quickly, man. Like, it's really fucked up. And a lot of people I think write it off because like, well, these girls want to have sex for money. It's like, okay, but who cares? Why? Like, you can look down on them as much as you want. That's fine, but like that doesn't mean that you get to violate. I mean, I don't think it's fine, but that doesn't mean that you get to excuse like their boundaries and be like, "Oh, they're because I don't respect porn stars. Their boundaries don't matter." Like, you don't get to do that. It's just crazy, because we could all kind of relate to it in a somewhat of a similar way, in the sense of like getting taken advantage of. It's like, think about it from like your job. Like, you guys, I'm sure you guys work. I would hope. I'm sure that you guys go to work, right? And at your job, I would reckon that you get paid to do a particular job, right? Obviously, like, I'm being very redundant. But that doesn't mean that you get paid to do anything related to the job in general. And it's like kind of like that. It's kind of like one of those scenarios. I'm doing such a bad job right now. It's kind of like one of those scenarios where just because you consent to a job doesn't mean that you consent to like overworking. Right, and we could all kind of identify with overworking here, I think, in some capacity, and that's my best way that I could kind of explain it to you guys. That's the best way I feel like I could explain it to you guys.
In January 2020, everything changed when Logan Paul surprised his best friend Mike Majlak with her as a birthday gift. He did this because Majlak was a huge fan of her.
That's so sweet.
Interestingly, the two hit it off. On the outside, they seemed like a perfect couple and eventually got into a relationship. Lana then started appearing in both Logan's and Mike's vlogs. Honestly, I would go so far as to say that she became the focus of Mike's channel. Viewers loved watching the two together. Their interactions were pretty funny.
They look at the PDA couple.
I know, it's never gonna change. It's never gonna change my thoughts. We're not gonna be, but can I tell you something? You know how you always talk about having a baby?
Yeah.
Now's your chance.
Although some fans just clicked to see Lana. Simps. Overall, though, the majority of the audience was happy for Mike, who was previously relegated to the background as Logan's sidekick. The nearly 40-year-old former drug addict was finally coming into his own. And into Lana as well. The pair became so inseparable, Logan made a running joke that Lana stole Mike from him.
My fucking friend back.
He's mine, Logan.
He's mine, Logan!
And while Rhoades relished in the publicity and attention, she often entertained jokes about her adult movie past.
Wow! How you doing, Amara? You okay?
I got the lens dirty.
I've seen her do that before. We lost our eyes.
Taking it a step further, Amara even dressed seductively in order to entice people.
Hey all you cool cats and kittens, it's me, Sailor Moon.
The two also had no problem using sexualized thumbnails and brought on other guests.
Hey, listen, you gotta work what you got, am I right?
Positive effect on Mike's channel was undeniable. The Social Blade subscriber graph.
My wife said that's actually such a fantastic comparison. I want to expand upon that more later. I think you could really use that as a great educational tool for sexual assault. Yeah, for sure. I'm totally down to talk about it. Maybe we could talk about it on stream for the Mom and Papa Gut thing. We do like a quick little thing because yeah.
Shows that he gained nearly 1 million subscribers within 4 months right after meeting her in January 2020. Fortunately, Maple benefited from the growth as well. She created a Girl Talk focused podcast with Olivia Davis and Alexa Adams called 3 Girls 1 Kitchen in December 2020. It was extremely successful and demonstrated just how versatile her creative abilities
I wouldn't stand up the whole time. You know, even if I did something like that. Why would you want to stand the whole podcast?
Lana offered pretty good advice on dating, relationships, and more. However, production ended in July 2021. In addition, she amassed over 1 million subscribers on her YouTube channel despite only having 4 videos. Oh, and on top of everything, she had an OnlyFans which was astoundingly popular. Amara had somehow done the impossible. She successfully transitioned from the adult movie industry to social media. Previously, the two worlds never really crossed over, but Lana managed to seamlessly merge them together. She turned her stigmatized past into a funny sexual quirk that set her apart. It made people want to know about
quirk, like from the popular show My Hero Academia?
Amara Maple rather than Lana Rhoades. In 2021, however, things came crashing down. It was later revealed that Maple and Majlak's relationship was a lot more toxic than met the eye. For example, Mike mentioned one time he asked a girl for her Instagram while role-playing in GTA, which royally pissed Lana off.
I was like, yo, girl.
Why is that toxic? Why is that considered toxic? Because why are you asking other girls for their Instagrams?
What's your IG? My chat's asking. And I broke the fourth wall, which you're not supposed to do in RP anyways. And everybody in the chat was like, yo, what's your
subscribe? Hey, thank you so much for the sub, brother.
Instagram? We want to look her up and see what she really Dog. I was in trouble. Big trouble, bro.
With your girl or the situation with that person looked like?
No, with my chick, bro. With my chick. So she hits me up on the text like, yo, I seen you asking for this chick's IG. What the
Why is this toxic? This is like a pretty reasonable boundary. And even if you think it's like that she's in the wrong, not everything has to be like horribly toxic. Hey, thank you so much for the sub.
For 2 months, subscribed.
Pogger.
Purple heart.
Not everything I just don't understand. Why is that the representation of toxicity in the relationship is that I understand that you can make the arguments like, oh, well, the chat ass, blah, blah, blah. But I could still see why somebody wouldn't like that. I wonder how disconnected from reality a lot of you guys are. It's like, do you guys know what boundaries are in a relationship? Like, I don't like you don't want to know what hot take? Not all boundaries have to be absolutely reasonable. Like, or rather, they don't have to be totally not rational. Like, they need to be reasonable, but they don't have to always be rational. Like, if you have a boundary in a relationship with somebody and they're like, hey, I don't want you to have any, like, let's say, hey, I don't want you to have, I don't know, let's say they don't want you to have like any friends that are gross, right? You could just be like, oh, I don't want to be in that relationship. That's totally fine. But if you establish like a boundary like that, like you've established that boundary, something like that, you know? Like, if I was on here asking for some random girl's Instagram on a video game, my wife would be kind of pissed. And you want to know what? If my wife did the same thing, I would be pissed. I feel like that's not an unreasonable boundary. I feel like, if anything, I would argue, maybe I'm wrong here, I would argue that he's just using his, like, popularity as a streamer to justify getting some girl's Instagram. And that's probably how she feels. So why does it have to be, like, a huge deal? Why is that toxic? That's fucking weird.
are you doing? This is cheating. This is cheating. I apologize. I'm sorry. How can I make this right? Shoot her in the face.
Lana also...
I'm sure she meant that. Yeah, I'm sure that she meant to actually shoot this person in the face. Yeah, for sure.
Publicly accused Mike of cheating despite the relationship not being completely defined. And since it was...
What?
Face.
Lana also publicly accused Mike of cheating.
When you give a 3 a chance and he fucks up in less than a month.
Despite the relationship not being completely defined. And since
I hate that, dude. Oh my god. Bro, come on. How much more biased could you get? Like, I understand not necessarily defining relationship standards and whatever, and maybe you don't want to call it cheating or not, but, like, you get to a point in a relationship where you should know that, like, yeah, you're not really supposed to be fucking around with people. Bro, come on. I feel like we're being a little too charitable to this guy. And I'm not even saying this guy's a horrible person. Like, this is, like, relationship shit, which can get, like, a little bit toxic and... it can just get complicated. Maybe not even toxic. But it can be, like, a little complicated. And, you know, getting the insight into somebody's, like, personal lives isn't always, like, a one-for-one kind of a ratio. You know, things get lost in the mix. I get that. But, like, why are we being so charitable to him? For anything, I'm, like, kind of writing off as, like, okay, this is just some, like, dumb fucking relationship bullshit. It's weird. He's a 37-year-old fuckboy? Oh, okay. I mean, I don't doubt it. If he doesn't...
Since it was a gray area, Mike had a sexual encounter with the throat goat and former Dr. Phil star Ava Louise in New York.
Okay.
Kind of like toying with that idea, but we never had like a conversation that obliterated that gray area of like, yo, are we exclusive or are we not exclusive?
This is so fun.
Why didn't you have that conversation? That's my question. Why didn't you have it? Because it sounds like, from what we were hearing, is that she didn't fuck other people, but he fucked other people. So why didn't you have that conversation? Like, listen, bro, I know what it's like to be a fuckboy. We've all been there. I've been there. You know, sometimes you intentionally don't have conversations like that so that you can be like, well, technically, when it comes down to like being held accountable for your shitty behavior. But okay.
Funny because the hypocrisy.
And when I got to New York, you know, this fucking dumpster gremlin, dude, just like I don't know how else to describe her, dude. She slid into my DMs.
Even after Mike and Lana were official, though, they broke up multiple times. In fact, their on-again, off-again relationship got so bad, Majlack made a pros and cons list. Lana then responded to everything by saying this. I'm going to say this once and for all. My beef with Mike is deeper than the pros and cons.
I'm not trying to justify his actions, but do you think that he feels like fucking around with other girls because Lana used to be an adult star? I mean, I can understand why somebody might feel that way, but then I also feel like you're just saying that she's used, like she's not the same as other girls. Like you're saying that she's used property, and that makes her less valuable than other women, right? Because you're like, oh, well, she used to be a porn star, so I can fuck whoever I want. It's like, okay, but I think that's shitty. I just think that that's really shitty. Like, don't get into a relationship with them in any capacity then. Like, if you're with them because you think that you can hold them to a lower standard than a girl who wasn't a porn star, then you're getting into the relationship, like, under the pretenses that she doesn't deserve respect. Like, that's what you're saying. Like, she doesn't deserve as much respect as other women because she used to fuck other people. And if you don't feel comfortable dating an ex-porn star, there's nothing wrong with that. But there's a difference between saying, like, yeah, I don't want to date an ex-porn star because that makes me uncomfortable, versus dating one just so that you could treat them less than another woman. Those are two very different, like, scenarios. So, like, you know what I'm saying?
Cons list. We had an agreement to be honest if we were sleeping with other people. He lied and I found a used condom in his garbage the day I came over after wig brunch. He told me he used it to jerk off and then later admitted. Wait,
hold on. What does this say? I'm going to say this once and for all. My beef with Mike is deeper than the pros and cons lists. Probably better not lose here. Let me see. Cons list. We had an agreement to be honest if we were sleeping with other people. He lied and I found a used condom in his garbage the day I came over after wig brunch. He told me he used it to jerk off and then later admitted it. Because I didn't like the idea of us being with other people, we agreed to discuss getting back together when I returned to NYC. And after that, the conversation, he ignored me for multiple days, hung out with his ex something buddy, and kept pursuing other women very publicly. I blocked him and moved on, and he had the audacity to send me a 5-page of mostly insults blaming me for the faults of my relationship, blah, blah, blah. I kept my mouth shut through this whole thing. The initial reason we broke up was because he said he was going to move in with me finally, and that the next day he said he would be moving in with Banks instead. His first YouTube title after we broke up was I'm moving in with Summer Rae. I've been continuously disrespected publicly by him. After the break, we have said nothing. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it sounds like he's a fuckboy, and he fucks he was with her because he could disrespect her. Like, I don't know what else there really is here.
Because I didn't like the idea of us being with other...
That's interesting. Somebody said Lana is dumb for getting with someone like him, but she's also okay with scamming her fans. I don't care about the scamming your fans. Listen, I just don't care about the scam. I care about the scamming their fans, but that's like a totally separate type of a thing that's not relevant right now. Because that stuff happened afterwards and people were still feeling this way about her beforehand. So, like, it doesn't really matter. It's interesting because, like, you know, we have, like, a lot of grown adult fuckboys, like I'm assuming this Mike guy is, who fuck around with women and treat them like shit, and then they get blamed for everything. And everybody's just like, well, she was a porn star, so who cares if he respected her, is basically the argument. It's really shitty. I can understand why people, like, and yeah, you shouldn't date old grown-ass fucking fuckboys. Like, you shouldn't date guys like this as a woman. It's a big red flag. But then also, like, you're putting the accountability onto him or her. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're like, yeah, he's shitty, but you know, it's their fault for dating him. It's like, okay, but why does he get a pass on his shitty behavior? You know, it's like stupid as fuck.
People, we agreed to discuss getting back together when I returned from New York, and after that conversation, he ignored me for multiple days, hung out with his ex-buddy, and kept pursuing the other woman very publicly. I blocked him and moved on, and he had the audacity to send me 5 pages of mostly insults, blaming me for the faults in the relationship. It sent me. I have kept my mouth shut through this whole thing. The initial reason we broke up was because he said he was going to move in with me finally, and then the next day he said he would be moving in with Banks instead. His first YouTube title after we broke up was on moving in with Summer Rae. I've been continuously disrespected publicly by him after the break and have said nothing. Eventually, the two finally broke up for good. In June 2021, Lana posted a photo of a sonogram on her Instagram revealing she was pregnant. This led to multiple memes and insults, with some saying Lana's child would be bullied in school because of her past. She then responded on the 3 Girls 1 Kitchen podcast by saying this.
So, I don't know if you guys have seen, but people are making memes and TikToks saying 2 things. 1, that my child is going to be bullied in school. And 2, they're making TikToks about my delivery of my child and like children.
Do you think it will be a little easier to come out? I don't know.
Going on water slides.
I actually haven't seen any of that. I haven't been on TikTok.
Well, those are majority of the comments, like on my Instagram, on my TikTok, on my Twitter, just saying stuff like that. And then also just like, I feel bad for the kid because your mom did porn. I have one thing to say to that. I feel bad for you. You clearly had a terrible mom who raised a son that talks like that to women.
In January 2022, Maple gave birth to...
I mean, like, obviously, it's the meme's a little funny. Like, oh, your pussy is going to make it easier for the baby to come out, blah, 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 blah. But then at the same time, like, why does being a porn or a former porn star mean that you're instantly going to be a bad mother? I don't really understand that argument. It's weird. Because I feel like the energy against porn stars is probably worse than, like, fucking alcoholics. It's like, yeah, he's an alcoholic, but I think he could be a good dad. Well, why? You know what I mean? Like, but we have, like, this energy where porn stars are always going to... Well, women in porn are always bad. When men in porn, we don't have that stereotype that they'll be bad fathers. It's just women in porn, which is a whole other fucking conversation about the way that... about, like, this weird double standard. But, like, people... Why are you so, like... Why is there so much energy? Like, what about her being a porn star would make her a bad mom? Like, because she likes to have sex? It might be weird in the future for the kid. Absolutely. Where some of his friends might be like, "Oh my god, I saw your mom the other day." Oh, where? Oh, I saw her on fucking Pornhub. Like, that would be weird. But you know, it could be worse, I suppose. You know what I mean?
To her son Milo. To this day, it's not known who the father is, although Mike mentioned it isn't him. Interestingly, fans speculated the father was NBA player Kevin Durant because Rhoades revealed she went on a date with a Libra from the Brooklyn Nets, and he's the only Libra on the team. However, for obvious reasons, I don't think that's true. Up until early 2022.
Why, Jay? Because the baby's not black? That's probably a good point.
It seemed like Lana Rhoades was on...
That's not their point. Their point is that the mom's shit is all out there, and that will lead to them getting bullied. Okay, I understand that, but, like, why? But who cares? Like, I know that's... I get it. That could be, like... First of all, I actually literally acknowledge that point. But anyway, like, why does that mean that she shouldn't be a mom? That's... Oh, fuck, I shouldn't have bought that yet. I need to see that the other thing. Like, that's the weird part, you know?
Unstoppable. She single-handedly cultivated a career in social media after being a convict, former stripper, and adult movie star. I have to say, her accomplishments are quite impressive. In my opinion, the odds were extremely low that she would become as successful as she did. Amara claimed to have manifested her fame, and I can't deny that. That's why the next part of the story is so confusing to me. Maple had wealth, fame, and a generally positive reputation. However, in January 2022, she revealed her NFT project called CryptoSys, where she made 6,069 NFTs of herself.
Hello, nice. CryptoSys community. First of all, I want to thank all of you for being part of my very first NFT project.
By the way, I think CryptoSys sounds like a disease you get on your balls. Like, I just got diagnosed with CryptoSys. I need some goddamn penicillin injections in my ass stat. Sadly, Rhoades was accused by the YouTuber CoffeeZilla of rug pulling her fans and running away with $1.5 million of Ethereum. You see, Lana initially misled people by saying her NFTs were an investment.
Lana Rhoades started an NFT project full of a bunch of pictures of basically cartoon versions of herself.
Whoa.
She told people she was going to work super hard to basically make this a valuable investment. The NFT project was called CryptoSys, and she said, "My #1 goal for the project is to increase the value of CryptoSys NFTs and make it a lucrative investment for for holders that they can sell for more than they paid to mint.
She even published a roadmap. However, about a week after the launch, Lana withdrew all of the money from the project's wallet.
Damn,
Less than
what a bitch.
week after all this money was raised, Lana Rhoades vanished from her community and took the money out of the wallet.
She then deleted the entire CryptoSys Discord because apparently the comments were too negative.
Quote, the truth as why Lana hasn't been around was she was very shocked and upset by the amount of negative and rude comments she was seeing in the chat.
However, Coffee claimed this couldn't be farther from the truth as it is full of simps who worshipped her.
I checked out this Discord. You can't imagine a bigger simp army. These guys were not negative, and I do mean guys, by the way. They put their last dollar into this project, truth be told. And one of them even got like a tattoo of the project logo on them before it rubbed.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ.
Lana then
What
wrote this
an
on Twitter
asshole.
after CoffeeZilla's video came out. YouTubers are fucking sickos, diseases of the internet who will do anything and say anything for views. I have a 1-month-old baby to take care of. Just what I wanted to do was scam people, get the fuck out of here with this bullshit. Just because a project does not go as planned does not mean there was any ill intent behind it.
Well, that doesn't matter. If you pulled all your money out of it a week later, then it means you literally engaged in like a fucking pump and dump scheme. I'm pretty sure that's like the definition. That's my understanding. Okay.
People are sick trying to cause trouble for views. She then escalated the situation by trying to shift the focus to the war in Ukraine. For example, she said, but in the grand picture of things, this is so fucking stupid for me to even address outside of finding a solution for the actual holders for the NFT. People are living in fear for their life in Ukraine right now and people are worried about NFTs. What does the world come to?
Oh my God. Oh, wow. What a great argument. Like, yeah, there are better things going on. So, like, if you're going to propose this virtuous ideology that there are bigger things that to worry about right now, so you should like be focused on that, then donate all your money to fucking like poverty. Like, you know what I mean? Like give your most of your money except for what you go live in a fucking area that costs you like fucking $30,000 a year, like some fucking Alabama or some fucking, you know, cheap ass bullshit state, and then donate the majority of your money to causes to help homeless people or the people that are starving in the world, because there are better things to do with your money than to fucking have a nice house. Like, if your whole argument is like this doesn't really matter, then okay, so then go fucking give up your money, give up all your money. None of this matters, so give up all your fucking money. It's just some stupid ass fucking argument, the dumb fucking childish argument. Holy shit. How unintelligent can you be? Honest to fucking God, dude. It's crazy. It is crazy. It is crazy.
Due to the backlash Maple received from her statement, she deactivated her Twitter. Her posts were so mind-numbingly stupid, Coffee even made a short video response.
And I know what you're thinking. Yeah, what has this world come to where a girl can't get a free pass on a scam, dude? You hear what Putin's doing?
Currently, Maple has not returned a single penny of the money that she stole. Personally, I'm quite sad to see her career take such a negative turn. I mean, she worked her way up from tough beginnings to become a lucrative social media phenom. I'm not sure why she scammed her fans, but it stained her reputation. Not to mention, she set a really bad example for her child. I feel like she had it all and didn't really need to rob her fans considering her net worth was already high. I will never know why she tarnished everything, but it's definitely unfortunate. Despite escaping the negativity of her former life, she just returned to it on a higher level. She went from helping people steal small amounts of money at the age of 16 to stealing large amounts of money herself at the age of 25. Oh, and the fact she tried to scapegoat the war in Ukraine is absolutely disgusting. There's thousands of people dying without food or water. I mean, if she really cared about the war, then she would have donated all of the money she stole. In my opinion, Lana truly ruined her own career. She could have continued to fill the niche of being the ex-adult star content creator, but decided not to. Maybe it was her breakup with Mike, or maybe she realized she didn't want a social media career as a mother. The only thing I can offer right now is conjecture, so we will all just have to wait for the truth to be revealed. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like and subscribing to my channel. See you
Wasn't too bad.
in the next one.
Oh, very nice, Ajay. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and another special shout out to all my Patreon and Twitch subs. If you'd like to support this channel further than you already have by just watching the video alone, go down to the links below where you can sub on my Patreon, which will allow you to get your name on this beautiful black wall. Or you can go to the Twitch page and you can actually use a free Amazon Prime sub, if you have Amazon Prime, to subscribe. Thank you very much, guys. Take care.